9 out of 9 for Kash Farooq versus the record there of Jamie Wilson from Dundee. He's lost 2 of his 13, 1 knockout in his 11 wins. As you can see from the stats there, 3 knockouts. In fact, in his last 3 fights, Kash Farooq has Indigo's in a knockout. The 22-year-old from Glasgow versus the 26-year-old from Dundee.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big one. The Bantamweight Championship of Great Britain. Would you please welcome firstly to the ring from Dundee, Scotland, Jamie Wilson.
From Dundee, former youth footballer with Dundee Football Club. Him and his brother Kevin were both promising football before switching across to boxing. He's making a big impact, and he's got lots of experience of the 12 round contests as well. It might just give him some sort of advantage here. He goes in as the underdog, Jamie Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring from Glasgow, Scotland, the untouchable Kash Farooq.
Shut it down to any one thing, or you're gonna leave nothing.
It's the big one. St Andrews Sporting Club in Glasgow. Here's Kash Farooq. Born in Pakistan, arrived in Scotland at the age of 6. For Kash Farooq, having had 49 amateur fights, he won 38 of them, representing Scotland along the way. He came to prominence last year as a professional with 2 wins in the year against Scott Allen. Now he finds himself fighting for the British Bantamweight title.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before the formal introductions, this is the British Championship. We have 2 Scottish boxers in the ring. So to give you verses 1 and 3 of our sporting anthem for Scotland, the Flower of Scotland, I give you Mr. Dave Cairns. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's sing along. Oh, Flower of Scotland, and will we see your lights again? The foreign guide for your weed, the kell and glen, and stood against sun. For them was army, and send them homeward to think again. These days are past now, and in the past they must remain. on BBC. Ian Wilson for the St Andrews Sporting Club is very proud to bring you 12 3-minute rounds for the British Bantamweight Championship. The coveted Lord Lonsdale Challenge Belt. We are proudly sponsored by Everlast, the choice of champions, and by InStyle Kitchens and Bathrooms. And this contest is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Scottish Area Council, and representatives Barry John Morrison and Derry Trainer. Should this contest go the distance, our 3 scoring judges from Wellingborough, Mr. John Keane, from Barhead, Mr. Victor Laughlin, and from Liverpool, Mr. Mark Lyson. At the bell, our timekeeper, Mr. John Bruce. And when the bell rings and the action commences, the referee in charge is star referee from Bury, Mr. John Lathrop. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the boxers. Firstly, unboxing out of the red corner, wearing the blue shorts with white trim. He weighed in 8 stone 5 pounds 4 ounces. A 13-fight record, 11 wins. With 1 win inside the distance, only 2 defeats, and they came as the former British and Commonwealth title challenger from Dundee, Scotland, Jamie Wilson. And across the ring, in the blue corner, wearing the blue shorts with gold, also on the scales, 8 stone 5 pounds 4 ounces. He brings a perfect record. 9 contests, 9 wins, 3 wins inside the distance. Standing before you this evening as the reigning Scottish Bantamweight champion from Glasgow, Scotland.
First time in 25 years, 2 Scots fighting here at the St Andrews Sporting Club for the British Bantamweight title. It hasn't happened since Drew Docherty and Donny Hood back in 1993. It's Kash Farooq against Jamie Wilson, and we're all set to go.
As Drew Docherty looks on from the top table, brilliant fighter and someone who I actually sparred with as a young boy. Beautifully timed counter punch, classic, slip the jab, right hand over the top, beautiful, beautiful shot.
Well, that was after about 15 seconds. An explosive start, it doesn't look like that. And
Very, very fast
as well, Alec.
Just trying to create enough range for himself. Very impressive performance there from Kash, absolutely brilliant so far. Beautifully timed shot as well. I'm sure Commonwealth title challenger Lee McGregor is looking on and interest. It's a massive fight for Scotland if Lee McGregor wins the Commonwealth title and Kash wins the British title tonight, Rob. 3 knockdown rule, that possibly could be it over. Yeah, Jamie's looking really disorientated and uncomfortable really there, isn't he? Yeah, the fight is over, first round.
That's over after 70 seconds.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
tremendous performance from Kash Farooq.
It's 10 out of 10 for Kash Farooq. And now it's 4 fights in a row which have ended in a knockout.
One of the best right hands in terms of timing I've seen for quite some time. He picked that shot beautifully and detonated it right over the top of the jab.
I was only joking at the start of the programme when I said we'd be home by midnight. We could be home by 11. That's incredible how early this is finished.
Didn't expect that at all.
10 pro fights, 10 wins. And he's the first ever Pakistan-born boxer to hold the British Bantamweight title.
Wow,
You've seen
there's that tremendous right hand,
which
yeah.
nailed Wilson early on.
It was so well picked. The timing of the punch was absolutely perfect, and You know, he just put the weight on his right leg and detonated that right hand right over the top. And Jamie Wilson didn't quite know what hit him, did he? He was so shocked at that punch, he just never recovered. Fantastic right hand.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him in that he just never got started. He never got a chance to show what he can do, and this was always going to end very quickly from that first punch.
Oh yeah. You could see in his eyes he wasn't particularly well balanced, or you know, he had totally lost his way. His eyes were staring into orbit, as they say. You know, he was taking a lot of punishment there, and that was a really good stoppage as well from the referee.
Yeah, you could see it in his eyes that he was not fit to continue. Jamie Wilson from Dundee.
And a very good finish, Rob, from Kash Farooq there. You know, he didn't just go in swinging wild shots. He really picked his punches, and he worked with his feet to get enough room on the shots and get enough power behind these shots as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our referee, Mr. John Latham, will bring together both boxers, and as always this evening, before we declare the result, would you please show your appreciation for both our boxers in the ring? So, ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 13 seconds over. Round number 1, referee John Latham starts the contest. His opinion, Jamie Wilson, no position to continue. Therefore, the winner, he is the new
He looks pretty shocked about it himself. That's ended quite so quickly. So it's the old Lonsdale belt time. What a special moment this is for him.
Unbelievable, what a belt. The most sought after belt in British boxing by a long way.
Lonsdale Challenge belt to the new champion, Kash Farooq.
You're watching BBC Sports Scotland, and it was over in a flash, and quite a lot of flashing going on in the ring now as these pictures are taken, these mementos, which Kash himself will treasure as time goes on. Ian McLeod from the St Andrews Sporting Club alongside him. What a night. The pictures which will be adorning websites instantly, and your newspapers tomorrow morning. Kash Farooq is the British Bantamweight champion. You like the sound of that? That's got a ring to it, certainly. And I wonder what lies ahead for him at the age of 22.
Lovely belt to own at this young age.
Stay with us, we'll get word with Kash shortly, and we'll get his take on that, and the long wait he's had, Alec, as well for this. But I think he's going to come down now and have a word with us, so I'll just dispense with the lip microphone.
Well done, chap. Good performance, mate. Thanks for good right hand.
Okay, well, let's get a word with Kash. I mean, did that? Well, let me first ask, how does it feel to be wearing that belt and be the British Bantamweight champion?
I've been training really hard for this, and you know what I mean, and I'm over the moon for this, you know, and I can't explain how I feel right now, you know.
You looked a bit dazed in the ring, because I guess, did that even surprise you how quickly that ended?
I did, you know, I was expecting to go 12 rounds. I've been training the last 9 months for this, and you know, I didn't expect to knock Jamie out like that, because he went the distance with Joe Schweel, and you know, I was expecting to go 12 rounds, to be honest, and you know, it's boxing, and you get caught with one show, and you know, and that's it, you know.
I guess what makes it difficult to handle is the fact that you've waited so long.
for the fight. You've been waiting for months for it, and then when it suddenly comes around, it's over in 70 seconds.
I know, but that's what you train hard for. You know, what I mean, you prepare for 12 rounds, and you know, what I mean, in the ring, you never know what happens. You know, and you know, you take it around that time, and it's one of them shots I'll call, and then you go hurt. You know.
Cash, did you see a weakness in Jamie Wilson? Did you see a lazy jab in his previous fights that you could time the right hand over the top and get those kind of results from that shot?
Well, I think that shot I'm quite good with, and you know, he just made a mistake straight away as soon as he done that. I never watched too much of Jamie Wilson, and as soon as he threw a jab, I found an opening, and that was it. He got caught, and he was dazed the first time I threw, and that was it. You know.
Amazing. I have to mention a potential massive Scottish fight in the future. If Lee McGregor is to come through his Commonwealth title fight in October in London, is that a big fight that you'd be interested in down the line?
Oh, definitely. You know, Lee's a good friend of mine, and as you know, and he's a cracking fighter. And I hope he does win it. You know, I mean, we need fights like that up here in Scotland. You know, I mean, we've not had, you know, and we need fights like that up in Scotland. And I hope he does. And you know, I mean, obviously down the line, you know, I mean, I'll be ready for it whenever. You know, but I wish him all the best in this fight in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for that. Thank you very much.
How excited are you, Kash, about what might lie ahead for you?
Oh, I'm really excited. You know, I've never had a good start in my pro career. You know, and last year or so, you know, I've really picked up, and you know, I'm seeing the rewards. You know.
Do you feel as if you've got the right people around you to guide you in the right direction?
Well, I think if I've got Craig Collin and Ian Wilson, I think I can go all the way. You know.
Have you got a message? Obviously, you've got lots of friends and family around you here tonight, but there'll be lots of people watching us on the BBC Sports Scotland website. Have you got a message for them?
Well, I can't thank them always enough, you know, for coming out and supporting me, and even people viewing it, all my family, friends, you know, and thanks for viewing, you know.
That was something special tonight. Well done, and good luck to you.
Thank you thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thanks so much.
That's well done. That's Kash Farooq, the newly crowned British Bantamweight champion here at the St Andrews Sporting Club in Glasgow. And how do you put that into some sort of context now? Like, because it was explosive, wasn't it?
Exactly. It was such a short fight that you couldn't really tell a lot from what was seen. What we did see was a really determined young man who was out to rip that title away at all costs, and that right hand is one of the best right hands I've seen, Rob, in quite some time. The timing of the punch was perfect. He set it up really well. He was in position to detonate that over the top, and what a job he done doing that. Fantastic stuff.
Let's have a word as well. We'll finish this off by talking about Kash, because that's what tonight was all about. But Boris Crichton, in the first fight, it was his first professional fight, lasted only 4 minutes, so it's difficult to make a deep sort of judgment, but he looked pretty good.
Again, boxed really well, took his time early, wasn't busy enough with his jab. I actually spoke to him about that recently. Wasn't busy enough with his jab, but once he started finding his rhythm and picking his body shots, he dropped that lovely right hand, and the fight was virtually over from there. It was never going to last after that. Really impressive performance for Boris.
Then it was another Aberdeen boxer, Dean Sutherland. He was against the journeyman Kevin McCauley in his 203rd professional fight, and I think he taught him a few things in the course of those 4 rounds. But at 19, he looks pretty promising as well.
He does. He looks very, very good. A southpaw, lots of tricky angles, punches from unorthodox places that most people wouldn't dare throw a punch from. Reasonably good body puncher. A lot to learn. I'm quite sure he picked up a lot in there tonight, and I think we could be expecting to hear that name again in the near future. Good fighter.
But the name that's on everyone's lips at the moment, and I think we're all a bit shocked and stunned about how quickly that ended in the top of the bill fight tonight for the British Bantamweight title. 22-year-old Glaswegian Kash Farooq. What could he become, do you think?
Well, I mean, like we spoke about, there's a massive potential fight, Scottish fight with Lee McGregor there. If Lee McGregor can be successful in his Commonwealth title fight on October 13th in London, I think that sets up a massive British Commonwealth fight with 2 Scottish fighters, which would sell out some of the top arenas up here in Scotland. That's a massive fight.
Alex, thanks a lot. Pleasure working with you as ever. Alex Arthur, former world champion himself, of course, and Rob McLean on BBC Sport Scotland. Hopefully you've enjoyed the boxing. It's been brief, but it's certainly been eye-catching. It's been explosive. I don't think there's anything doubt about that. And Kash Farooq from Glasgow is the new British Bantamweight champion. From all of us here at the St Andrews Sporting Club, good night.